All right, y'all, welcome back and happy Friday. Today I'm going to be sharing how I think Tennessee's stat line is going to look versus Syracuse tomorrow and hopefully help y'all win some money with my best bets. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow morning, we will be going live for our pregame show. We hope that y'all can all join us, and we'll let you know what time we will be going live on the channel here very shortly. So let's actually start off with the injuries because we didn't talk about it yesterday, but these are the three players that will be out for Tennessee tomorrow. And I'm not too concerned. The only player that maybe gives me some pause is David Hobbs. He's a very good defensive tackle. He would be like the third guy that rotates in. And someone's going to have to step up for him. We've heard maybe a freshman, Ethan Utley. It could be Campbell. It could be one of the more like veteran guys that haven't played that much, like a Nathan Robinson. We've got very talented players there. Coach Garner likes to rotate like 6 to 7 guys. Can we do that in this opener? And is it going to make that big of an impact? Just because typically with your tackles, they're there to try to help stop the run. Syracuse doesn't really run the football that much. Last season, 65% pass to 35% run. I know that they want to be more balanced this year, but old habits die hard. I think that ultimately we will be fine. Coach Garner's going to have those guys ready to rock and roll. Now, with all that being said, these are some of the stats. Okay, we've got a couple of pages that we'll look at here, but these are some of the stats that I see happening for our Tennessee Volunteers tomorrow. With the passing numbers, that's if everything goes perfectly. So Joey Aguilar, 26 of 31 for 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 carries for 5 yards. So if you're placing a bet and you want like what's the more realistic options, I would say probably about 25 passes. So 19, 18 of 25, something like that, for close to 200 yards. I'd say don't pick anything over about 210 yards. I'd probably be taking the under from that standpoint. Not because Joey Aguilar can't play. I just think that in this game, Tennessee leans on our running game as much as possible. And from what I've heard, listening to the coaches, listening to some of the people close to the program, sounds like there is a strong point of emphasis with Joey Aguilar not trying to do too much. We don't need him doing too much over the course of this year. Just manage the ball games. That would mean, hey, dump it off as much as possible. Maybe don't throw the football as much. And also, we know that Syracuse is going to play a lot of 3 deep coverage with multiple safeties, so on and so forth. So it's going to be tough to find those passing windows. I don't see too many big time passes down the field for 20 plus yards. I don't see that really happening just based off of their defensive structures. We'll be able to hit on some of them every now and then with some isolations. But I just want for y'all to understand why I'm saying these things so that if you are placing the bets, you have a foundation of why I'm saying what I'm saying. All right, so as far as Tennessee's running backs, I've got them getting about 42 carries for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. To me, I could actually see this happening, though. All right, so I'm looking at Bishop and Peyton Lewis. What were their average yards per carry last season? And based off of the carries that I think that they'll get, that's how I came up with their yards and with their touchdowns, so on and so forth. Now, if it's 40 plus times that that the running backs run the football, which I definitely think that it's going to look about that way, how are the carries going to be split up? I don't know. I'm hoping that it's going to be more balanced like what I have here, but I could very easily see Bishop getting about 18 to 20 carries and probably no more than 20 carries. If you look at our opener last year versus NC State where we ran the football, I want to say close to maybe like 50 times. We ran it a lot. Dylan Sampson got like 20 carries. So I don't think that we're going to go over that, right? Because we really only ran like 2 backs in that game. So I would say for Bishop, 15 carries, about 92-ish yards, 1 touchdown, 2 catches for 15 yards. Peyton Lewis, maybe about 14 carries for close to 74 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 catch for about 12 yards. Star Thomas, 13 carries, 78 yards. I have him at about 6 yards per carry just based off what I've seen with his running style and then the way that Coach Heupel's talking about him, how he's going to fit into our scheme, so on and so forth. So I think that he could average close to about 6 yards per carry versus a defense that's running a whole lot of dime. And I have him with 1 catch for 5 yards, 1 touchdown, obviously in that red area. I think that he's going to shine. I think that he's one of those guys that we will try to target. So if you're just placing your bets, keep in mind the reasoning behind, what I have for this stat line. So with our tight ends, I think that they're going to get a lot of burn in this game, a lot of targets, especially Miles Kitselman. He's actually roommates with Joey Aguilar. Sounds like Kit was the first person that Joey Aguilar really hit it off with on Tennessee's team. They're close, and that's a tight end or that's a quarterback's best friend. They want to try to dump it off to the tight ends. As I said, I do feel like there's going to be a point of emphasis in, hey, hit the open people. Like find out pre-snap who's going to be wide open and throw it to them. And just a lot of underneath stuff where about, 8 to 10 yards per catch. Miles Kitselman's not going to probably do a whole lot after the catch, but he can run through some tackles and do something with the football. I would actually, if you're going to be placing bets, if there's a place where you can find him with maybe like over under one touchdown, or maybe like over under maybe like a half a touchdown, I would take the over. I think that he will get at least one pass catching touchdown in this game. But the tight ends as a unit, I've got him with about 8 catches, 113 yards with one touchdown. Miles Kitselman, 5 catches for 68 yards. Ethan Davis, 3 catches, 45 yards, one touchdown. We know about Brame and Jack. Those two guys will be utilized, I can almost guarantee you, in this game, especially Brame. They want to see how he looks out there. Can we use him moving forward versus teams like UGA? So watch out for that as well. Now with the wide receivers, I've got them with 14 catches for 178 yards, one touchdown. I think that Chris Brazzell will get a touchdown. He's that big, 6'5", 200 plus pounds, really long arms. Joey Aguilar likes to throw the football to the bigger guys that he feels like, man, they can win these jump balls, in 3-step drops where we are maybe trying to go vertical, right? So phase, if it's close to the end zone, I think he's going to be one of the options, like one of the main options for Joey Aguilar. So watch out for that. I would say same thing that we said about Kit. If it's a like over under like a half a touchdown that you can find on Brazzell, I would take the over. I feel very strongly that he will score a touchdown in this game. Now, Mike Matthews, 4 catches, 65 yards. With Braylon Staley, 5 catches, 40 yards. Staley is going to be getting the start in the slot. The thing about him, and also really Brazzell too, is that they haven't played that much with Joey Aguilar. Maybe some like closer to the start of the summer when we're doing like routes on air type of stuff. But in actual, like real fully padded practices, they haven't had that much time with Joey. So how much is he favoring either one of those guys? I know that we'll have some wide receiver quick screens to Braylon Staley. I know that we've got wide receivers that can block outside. So I see him doing a good job from that standpoint, getting several targets, making several catches. Hopefully he's fully healthy and he can go because he's a stud. All these guys we're going to be talking about, they're all very good players. Now, as far as Travis Smith, I've got him with 2 catches for 28 yards. He could also get the start, so watch out for that. I mean, if he does get the start, you can maybe say, hey, he's the guy that Joey Aguilar feels confident with in that red area, but he's also just a freshman, so who knows, okay? And then we have Ra Jackson, very similar to like a Travis Smith, where he's going to make the tough catches, and he's going to be a like red area threat. So let's take a look at this website that I actually just found today. Okay, it's called Sports Gambler, and we'll just go through some of my like best bets. All right, so starting off with the passing numbers for Joey Aguilar and also Steve Angeli. Starting off right here with Steve, they've got him at 242.5 over under. I'm taking the under for a couple of reasons. If you're looking at their offensive system, like we said, they want to try to run the football more. So that takes away from the passing yardage that you would have saw last year. But their system is really good. They will have people open on some quick game stuff. So snap the football, somebody's open pretty much right now. Not necessarily now, but more like 3-step drop type stuff. That's where Steve really thrives at. But early on in the game, he will find some openings. At some point, we'll be able to clamp down on that. And I don't think he's going to have as many options. Also, their quarterback last season, he was a gunslinger. He would throw the football in coverage a lot. So a pretty big portion of the yards that they had passing wise came from him being a playmaker and came from the wide receivers being playmakers. They still have playmakers out wide, but I just don't think that Steve Angeli is going to try to force it into coverage like they did last year. So for all those reasons, man, and then too, man, Tennessee's pass rush, everything. Tennessee's defense is tremendous. They didn't face a defense like ours at all last season. So I just think that it's going to be under this. So I would definitely hammer the under right here. I can almost guarantee that. Now, as far as Joey's numbers, at about 213, will he get up to 214? I would say that it's possible, but I would go under with that. Just me personally. That's what I would do. I don't see us having too many opportunities down the field. Also, hopefully he's not trying to force the football down the field and forcing it into coverage. If that is the case, then he should be under that. I would say about 210 is what I think Joey Aguilar is going to do just as far as numbers go with yards. So this right here, just like some other things for y'all to look at, I'll try to scroll through kind of slowly. Now let's talk about Willis, who's going to be Syracuse starting running back. They've got him at 37.5. I would take the over just because, like I said, they will try to probably run the football more. They don't rotate running backs that much, so he's going to get like the bulk of the carries. And also, man, Tennessee's defensive tackles, how does it look once we get to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th guys? Could be some options there, or could be some room there for him to run and, maybe get more yards. So if he's going to get, we'll call it about, 15 plus carries, I mean, he should be able to, if he's averaging, about 2.5 yards per carry, he should be able to get past that number. So I would go over with that. Now, let's keep on going. They got the parlays in here. They got the scores and all that. So right here with the point spread, I'm going to tell y'all that I would definitely take Tennessee with these points. I think that we will win by 14 or more points. I feel very confident with that. Even with one turnover, I think that we still win by that much of a margin. I could very easily see Tennessee winning by 17 plus. So that's where I'm at with that. I feel very strongly, very confident. I know that there's a lot of talking heads saying, man, take Syracuse with these points. It's not going to go like that, y'all. So trust me on that one. That one is almost a slam dunk. But let's get into some of these like pass catching numbers. So Jonte Cook and also Gill, they've got them at the same number here. I would say that probably Gill would be the one who could maybe go over this number. Not that they're both very good players, but Tennessee's going to kind of key in on Jonte Cook. So I think that Gill is more like the secondary option, especially with, he's not going to be lined up in the slot too much. That would be more like Jonte Cook. So I could see if it's J-Mac, covering him, maybe say, okay, well, maybe Cook could beat J-Mac, but we're going to have a different scheme in place whenever J-Mac is the starter out there. Okay, so understand that as well. And it's going to limit what Jonte Cook can get done from the slot. But I think that Gill's the guy that's more of like the secondary option in our defense's mind. So he would probably be the guy that can do more things. And I really like his game, man. He makes tough catches. So I think that he would be the one guy that you might say, hey, let's go with the over on this. And as far as Jonte Cook, I would go with the under. Now, Brazel, would you take the over or the under here at about, 40 yards? I'd say going ahead and take the under. I don't see him because he's coming off of an injury. Like I said, it hasn't really worked too much with Joey as far as like real live type stuff. So I could see him going under that just for the time being. But moving forward, he's going to be one of the guys. So watch out for that. And then with Miles Kitterman, hammer the over here. 25.5. He's going over that. I can guarantee it. That's almost a slam dunk lock. Now for the rushing yards, we got some more slam dunk locks. I think that Bishop, he is a lock to go over 72 yards. I feel very confident in saying that. Willis, like we said, I feel pretty strongly. I'm not going to say that that's a lock, but I do feel pretty strongly he's going to go over as well. We already talked about these passing yards, and that's pretty much it. So y'all share y'all's thoughts down in that comment section. Hopefully we can make y'all some money coming up this weekend, and hopefully y'all will be joining us for our pregame show. We will also be going live for the postgame show as well. But please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be talking to y'all tomorrow. Thanks, peace. Thanks for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because that keeps us growing inside the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.